We know that you've been loving softball.
And you're the type of fans that just can't get enough.
So don't worry, AUX is stepping up to the plate.
That is unbelievable! Got it!
We have all your favorite players.
All the big home runs.
Highlight reel catches.
Oh my goodness! And makes the play!
But there can only be one winner.
One winner.
One winner.
One winner.
One winner.
One winner.
The fans have arrived. They are ready to see the pros. It is opening day in Wichita, Kansas for Athletes Unlimited AUX Softball. The third year of this shortened season that is full of excitement, and they are ready to rock in Wichita, Kansas. There is just a buzz at this beautiful facility on the campus of Wichita State University. It is Team Wiggins and Team Leach to lead things off here on opening day. New to Athletes Unlimited Softball, here is what to expect. 42 of the world's best players here over the next 15 days or so. We've got that innovative scoring system. We'll tell you all about it. And the captains every week, decided by the top of that leaderboard, keeps things fresh, makes things very interesting from a strategic standpoint. Alongside the former All-American Amanda Scarborough, I'm Chucky Kemp. It's all about the excitement of opening day. We're 4 days removed from a four-peat from the Oklahoma Sooners, and here we are. It's time for the pros to take the stage.
I don't think people wanted the Women's College World Series and the college softball season to end, but have no fear, the professional season is now starting. We're going to get to see some awesome athletes on the field and a lot of fresh faces in a new place here in Wichita. A couple of those new faces, I mean, they are all over the field, but you're going to be very familiar with these two names, of Montana Fouts and Jocelyn Allo. One's a pitcher, one's a hitter. Of course, Montana Fouts was a four-time All-American at Alabama, 100 wins, a strikeout pitcher, throws with great velocity. Literally, both of these players have millions of fans from their career at Alabama, and then Jocelyn Allo, her career at Oklahoma. The home run hitter, the two-time National Player of the Year. Nobody has hit more home runs in a college career than Jocelyn Allo with 122.
Yeah, tons of storylines coming into this one. How about some of the veterans that we have? Aubrey Leach and Megan Wiggins, they lead things off as captains in game one.
Yeah, it's a huge deal to be a captain, and both of these two players earned being a captain last AUX season last summer with where they finished. Aubrey Leach hit over 400. She finished in second place in the AUX leaderboard. Her on-base percentage was close to 500. When she steps up to the plate, she can hit with power, use her speed, use a short game. She was a stud in the box. And then Megan Wiggins is a 13-year vet. She had her best finish in her AU career last summer. And the way that she steps up to the plate as a vet, you know you're going to get that experience, you're going to get some power, you're just going to get some quality at bat. She has been around forever. This is the first time that she has been a captain in AU.
With all these new players we have, it's no surprise that Megan Wiggins decided to stick with a lot of those veterans that she's familiar with. If you look top to bottom in this order, there is only one newcomer, and it is Kayla Kowalik out of Kentucky, who was tremendous there a couple years ago, that she's the lone newcomer. Everybody else, veterans that Megan Wiggins knows well. Nadia Taylor, another one of those very long-time pros that slots into the six-hole, tons of power right there. Bubba Nichols leads things off. Megan Wiggins and plenty of protection. She took Taylor Edwards with her first pick, second overall in the draft. I mean, that's how much trust she has in the backstop from Nebraska. Edwards so good at working with these pitching staffs. AUX, just 3 series, as you see some of the young fans interacting with the pros. That's Sydney McKinney. She was an All-American here at Wichita State, and you see it as a beautiful setting and the perfect weather for opening night. 84 degrees, a little bit humid, not too bad. A nice little breeze coming in for these athletes. A lot to talk about as far as how the field is organized as well, and we'll also do that. But the fans are ready for opening day.
They've done a great job with this field, and all the facilities look tremendous. It's a sold-out crowd here tonight. I know that Wichita State loves their softball, and I think that's going to bleed into this AU season.
So a lot of the athletes on some of the morning news shows here in Wichita that were promoting this event. Everyone's excited in Wichita. The pros have been here before. It's facility and just the surrounding area on campus is absolutely gorgeous. We've heard nothing but positive things from these athletes as we see Odyssey Alexander get set to make her 2024 debut, the champion of last year's championship season in Rosemont, Illinois. She was absolutely tremendous in her 4th season now from Boynton, Virginia. We know what she did at the Women's College World Series with James Madison. Let's hear from Odyssey on what she thinks about what she can do.
Hi, I'm Odyssey Alexander, a pitcher, and my favorite pitches to throw are a rise ball and a changeup because one's really hard and one's really slow.
And Odyssey Alexander wants to go hard inside to both lefties and righties with her screwball and with her rise ball to the righties. She can bring that curveball into the lefties. She throws with really good velocity. She, again, wants to jam you and not let these barrels get extended. That's why that changeup for her when she drops it down to 55 is such an important pitch because it offsets her idea of trying to go hard in.
Saw her last year in the championship season. Got into some tough spots, but able to work out of a lot of them, so she is absolutely fearless in the circle. Everyone remembers, I know you remember what she did in Oklahoma City against the Sooners, that incredible diving play that she made, but just one of a number of superstars that are here in Wichita.
It always seems like she throws harder than just 66, 67. I feel like she can bring it 68, 69, because I'll tell you what, Odyssey Alexander is a gamer. She gets amped up for the games. The adrenaline is running, so I wouldn't be surprised to see her hit higher 60s, maybe even touch 70 in game.
Here we go, partner. You ready? 4 days removed from the Women's College World Series. We are back with some professional softball in Wichita, Kansas. Odyssey Alexander against Bubba Nichols to lead things off. Strike one right down the pipe. Bubba has been so good defensively and at the plate. Finished 7th in the last championship season. Her 4th year out of Merced, California. Played her college ball at UCLA, where she was a GA this season. Wow. Got a hold of that way out in front, though.
These players know each other very well from hitting off of each other, so many at-bats. And so you see, we talked about what Odyssey Alexander wants to do is go hard in. Clearly, Bubba Nichols looking for that side of the plate as she took the curveball to start and then swung hard in.
0-2 count against Nichols. Hits this hard into center field, coming on, but can't get there. That's Mackenzie Clark, one of a number of rookies out here out of Clemson. And Bubba Nichols has her first hit of the season.
Sat back on an off-speed pitch there with 2 strikes. Pitch that didn't necessarily fool Bubba Nichols at all and didn't find a corner. It was down in the zone, so that was good to see, but just landed out in front of Mackenzie Clark, who I'm sure was thinking, man, laid out for that, but as a rookie, you're wanting to play it safe, I think, to get things going.
Is an exceptional athlete out of Clemson. One of the all-time greats for a very young program there. Bubba Nichols, though, how about the first points of the season for her on the leaderboard? 10 points for that single. As Odyssey now gets a look at Megan Wiggins, the captain. Year number 14 for Wiggins. She had 2 top 20 finishes last year. Those were her best in her Athletes Unlimited career, her 5th season for AU. And this is outside from Odyssey 1-1.
When you think of just a veteran player, a veteran hitter, a professional hitter, I think that you think of Megan Wiggins and what she's been able to do in her career. I think that she was already a professional hitter when she played at Georgia. Nevertheless, when she actually became a real pro, and has had 13 years of experience.
Had a handful of professional hitters on some of those Georgia teams she played on. Taylor Schroepy, Kristen Sandberg, Elisa Goller. That is a dangerous lineup to face if you were a college pitcher at the time. Back-to-back Women's College World Series in 2009 and 2010. Baldwin's got him close right now. 1-2 outside.
Yeah, and she even got to call some games on SEC Network Plus for her alma mater, which is always so fun to hear her call a game and get inside of her hitting mind, because she'll talk the game and talk strategy, and loved hearing a different side of her hop on the mic and call a game.
Swings through it. Odyssey Alexander has her first strikeout of the season. And a big out right there against Megan Wiggins.
And that's her screwball that also moved a little bit up in the zone against Megan Wiggins. That's a pitch that when we looked at her pitch breakdown, that screwball has the best and highest spin rate. Great pitch there. You see her snap that pitch off and work with Jordan Roberts just to nail that outside corner and get the swing and miss.
Odyssey had a 2.15 ERA in 42 innings pitched in the championship season when she was crowned the Athletes Unlimited champion. It's Taylor Edwards, who you have to think is very familiar with her, being a catcher and most likely having caught her a few times over the course of the last few seasons.
And what an improvement for Odyssey from what she did in the AUX season leading into the champ season. That AUX season in 2023, so to start out the summer, her ERA was 8.53. Took a few weeks in between the AUX season, the championship season, and then won it all with that 2.15 ERA.
Let's get the inside corner right there. It's got to be difficult. You're facing these hitters as often as you are in AUX and then the championship season, which is 5 weeks long. I just think as a pitcher, it's a big challenge, isn't it?
It is a grind, and we saw that last AUX season. This time last summer, the hitters were feeling real confident against the pitchers. It was a tough AUX season last summer for the pitchers. The hitters were feeling confident, seeing the ball big, and there were a lot of runs scored in that AUX season. See if the pitchers can come out earlier this season.
3-1 for Odyssey. Has to be careful with Edwards. Big swing through that to make it 3-2. Does that surprise you? I mean, you did both. Like when you came back after a little bit of a break, you feel like your pitching came back quicker or your bat?
I felt like my pitching came back quicker, and I think that that would be the general consensus. That's why it was so surprising to see the hitters just crush last June.
3-2. Got her. Back-to-back Ks for Alexander and battled back after falling behind.
And she helped out Odyssey Alexander, Taylor Edwards did. This is the pitch before the strikeout pitch. So this is going to be a rise ball that she chased out of the zone. And it is a ball, but Taylor Edwards wanting to hit something, wanting to get something at a hitter's count was aggressive. And then she was able to strike her out with an off-speed curveball and that 3-2 count. Beautiful pitch. Dropped it down to 60.
This is a little bit upstairs. This is Delaney Wiz. Third base tonight for Team Wiggins. Wiz in her second season from Orcutt, California, another UCLA Bruin.
Off speed is working well. See, that to me looks like she's throwing two different off-speed pitches. It's almost like an off-speed rise or an off-speed curve, and then she'll also come in with a true changeup there at 58, 57 miles an hour. Odyssey throwing three different speeds today.
And one's in there for strike two. What's the key in this league? How are you successful as a pitcher?
To change speeds as much as possible. I was just talking to Alicia Ocasio before the game too, and that to me is the biggest difference maker for the pitchers who come and pitch here, is that spin and changing speeds is of utmost importance, not just velocity.
2 from Odyssey, back-to-back strikeouts. Just misses outside.
And she has Jordan Roberts back there catching for her, and I feel like Jordan Roberts is such a good pitch caller and loves to change speeds too. So no surprise that even in this first inning, we're seeing Odyssey Alexander change speeds a ton.
The pitchers here will just praise Jordan Roberts about her ability to command a game behind the plate. That's what you get. You don't have those coaches calling pitches for you. You can have your facilitator act as a coach in a sense, but for the most part, it's on the players to come up with game plans and execute. So Delaney Wiz, this is year 2. I think that's always the interesting year for these players. You're not coming off your college season for the first time. Stay He's with it right side. That's Leach. See, Alexander gives up a leadoff single, but back-to-back strikeouts and a ground out to put a 0 on the board. Zero going to the bottom of the first here in Wichita. And a little bit of a flip of how these rosters are built. We talked about the veterans for Team Wiggins. On the other side for Team Leach, Aubrey went a little bit more with the youth, and you'll see that top to bottom in her order. She will lead things off, but then it's Erin Koffel right behind her. Jocelyn Allo in her second season as a pro, first with AU, Bailey Klingler. Youth, but a ton of talent in this order.
A lot of new faces in the Aubrey Leach lineup.
Bottom of the order, Mackenzie Clark. It sounds a little bit ridiculous if you've watched college softball, especially the ACC, to see her in the 9-hole. They will face Taylor McQuillan, and lefties are in short supply here at AUX, just a couple of them. Also veteran pitchers. Taylor McQuillan is that. We've seen her be absolutely phenomenal. She's inside with the first pitch. Lefty out of Mission Viejo, California, played her college ball at Arizona. With Team Mexico.
I feel like Taylor McQuillan has just gotten better and better every single year of her career. And you're going to see her, of course, come from the left-hand side, as you mentioned, but she just has great spin, and she can bend the ball with her curveball on both sides of the plate. And change speeds well, too.
A lot of pro balls played on the international level, Japan and in the United States. Leach has represented Team USA as well. Woodlands, Texas, and that just misses the outside corner against Leach.
Ooh, it's a good take by Aubrey Leach, because that pitch before was a strike that looked a little bit off the plate, and for her to take that, trusting her eyes.
We finished second at AUX last season. It was played in Rosemont, Illinois, where the championship season is held. This is the third different location for AUX, and after this year will be, for the time being, the final AUX season. It's the big announcement from Athletes Unlimited that the AUSL will be born next May, as Aubrey Leach does not agree with that call right there, and that's out number 1.
You could just see that Taylor McQuillan was trying to work her on the outside corner, this lefty-on-lefty matchup where she's just going to bring her curveball back-to-back times against Leach, and Taylor Edwards helping her out to frame up that curveball, maybe getting a little bit off the plate. Leach thought that she walked, but instead McQuillan gets the K.
Erin Koffel now steps in, and this is the first professional at-bat for Koffel. From Indiana, played her college ball at Kentucky, and one of the Wildcat greats for Rachel Lawson in Lexington. It's that pitch. We were talking to Sam Fisher today, and she was just raving about Koffel and said, look, she's the real deal. She's special.
She's a talented athlete. The way that she plays defense, the power that she has, the eye and patience that she has at the plate.
Off-speed catch the inside corner. What a pitch. I don't know if that's where Edwards wanted it, but it works.
It does work. Just froze her, not looking for that speed.
One, two, looking for back-to-back strikeouts. Off the handle here and caught. I think that was caught in the air over at second base by Andrea Filler. 2 outs.
Up for Team Leach, the third baseman from Loyola Marymount.
The pitcher's setting the tone early in this game, huh, Chucky?
I'll tell you, we were talking about Odyssey's velocity, and we are right here off the side. I'm trying to see us there in that shot behind Sam Fisher, but it's just, even McQuillan, I mean, you feel like they're a little amped up right now to get started.
Yeah, we have to be a little bit closer in the action. Like, if we can't be out there in a uniform and actually play the game, this is about as good as it gets, being, I don't know, 20 feet away from home plate. We got to be as close as we can.
They might welcome you out there, but the jerseys are hidden from me.
Be dodging balls out there.
Yeah. Fisher, longtime veteran out of Loyola Marymount. Best to ever play there. Longtime pro, and she has decided this is it. The final year for Sam Fisher as a pro. She will retire at the conclusion of the championship season in August. Watches the 0-2 in the dirt.
Let's take the endings of things, you know, whether it's a career or the end of a vacation or the end of a college season. I mean, just the ending of things seems so final, but up to this point, it seems like she has a good outlook on it going into this AUX season.
Fisher stays with it. It's going to be foul, though, down the left field line. 51 miles per hour right there from McQuillan. Wiggins roaming left field. She's been out there for a long time. Bubba Nichols in center. Great glove and great range. 1-2, and Fisher another foul ball.
Some good aggressive swings that Sam has had in this at-bat. Deep into her legs. And not all the way in the back of the box, kind of right in the middle of the box to this approach to McQuillan.
It's fouls it off, you know?
I mean, it is so hard to go 10 months without seeing live pitching and professional pitching, like facing a McQuillan or Odyssey Alexander, and then get in the box against them and know that your at-bats are important for your team and for points and for the leaderboard. I mean, that is a big change to go from essentially 0 to 100 overnight.
Another 1-2, too far inside. A great AB right here from Sam Fisher. This 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up next.
That was a good take and such a good pitch by McQuillan to wrap that pitch to the back foot of Sam Fisher. Great location.
Trying to put up a 0 to match Odyssey Alexander, and she does. Gets Fisher looking, and like Sam might have known that one was in there for strike 3.
These pitchers are showing up big early in this first game. Already through the first inning, we've seen 4 strikeouts between Odyssey Alexander and Taylor McQuillan. Both of McQuillans were looking.
Wichita, Kansas, opening day of the Athletes Unlimited AUX softball season. 0-0, 20 points on the line here in the second inning between Team Wiggins and Team Leach. This is the tough day for Aubrey Leach and her team because they have the doubleheader. So these fans will get to see her team twice, and it's, you talked about, you know, haven't seen live pitching in a long time. Haven't played a game in a long time, and you got to go back-to-back tonight.
Doubleheaders made me sore in college, so at the professional level, you know, 10, maybe 13 years, like a Megan Wiggins past your college days, you're going to be a little sore.
Kelsey Stewart-Hunter, one of a few Wichita natives on this Athletes Unlimited roster, and the crowd loved it when she was announced before the game. Excited to be back in her hometown. Played her college ball at Florida, where she was a superstar. Misses outside. Her 4th season as a pro. She missed 2022 due to the birth of her son, Trace. Back-to-back national champion at Florida in 2014 and 2015 as she watches that pitch outside as well.
Can you believe that she just had her 2nd child just 11 weeks ago? 11 weeks, and she's out here competing. I'm sure wouldn't want to miss the opportunity to compete here in Wichita in front of a lot of family members. Some of them seen her live for the first time.
She was the 2010 Kansas Gatorade Player of the Year. She went to Mays High School about 20 minutes from here. It's 6:49 as a senior. Tim Walton said, yep, that'll do. So he's through it, strike 2. She gave up a leadoff single and then back-to-back strikeouts, followed by a ground out to strand Bubba Nichols on first base. Hunter puts it in the air, long run, and it's foul. excited to be back in Wichita. Down, of course, at Florida, where she was so good. You talked about just had her second child, Hutton. She stays busy with those two just a little bit.
Yes. Finding time to play, finding time to practice, finding time to hang out with the fam.
Longtime member of Team USA from 2014 to 2021. Won silver at the Tokyo Olympics. Three-two. Up and out of play. Full count from Alexander, and that's upstairs. Great AB to lead off the season for Kelsey Stewart-Hunter.
That was a really great at bat. Saw a lot of pitches. 28 pitches at Odyssey. Alexander has already thrown 5 hitters into this game, and it's interesting how quiet the fans are in between pitches. Like, I feel like everybody is just soaking in every second of watching these athletes, but in between pitches and at bats, it gets really quiet.
There it was, right there. Everyone kind of took a deep breath when Odyssey Alexander gets on the rubber.
And even watching them, I feel like nobody's really talking. They're just all like looking out at the field, waiting for action to happen.
Probably listening to you.
Oh no.
Good pitch on the inside corner from Odyssey right there to jam Nadia Taylor. Do not want to let her get the arms extended. So much power. 5th season of Athletes Unlimited. She is a 10-year pro. Just really starting to see some of those long-time veterans more frequent in professional softball, which is exactly what you want to see as Taylor grounds to the shortstop. Chance for 2. High throw. It does stay in play. It takes first, but there's one away.
I just think it's so cool to see Erin Koffel play next to Aubrey Leach, an all SEC middle infield there, where you have a rookie of Erin Koffel and Aubrey Leach, who of course played at Tennessee and was on the staff at Tennessee softball this year, so was in the dugout whenever these two played against each other, Kentucky and Tennessee, whenever that may be. I mean, to see them get an opportunity to turn 2, great turn by Erin Koffel to get the ball to Aubrey Leach, but looked like she lost her grip on the throw to first.
Now Andrea Filler out of Northwestern, now the director of ops for her alma mater, and what a program they have going right now in Chicago. Watch that first pitch for a ball. She's a member of the Player Executive Committee, the PEC, which makes a lot of the decisions sport to sport. Good spot from Odyssey again. She has really mixed locations.
Yeah, she has, with that harder curveball and then an off-speed pitch that she's spinning as well. Working both sides of the plate. And again, I attribute a lot of the pitch calling to Jordan Roberts back behind the plate. Is that off-speed? Oh, that's a good pitch. Just fell off the table too. At the angle that we're sitting at, you could see that pitch start and then just dive down.
This is the champion from the 2023 championship season, and she is picking up right where she left off. 1-2 pitch to Filler, too high. Not missed by much. I mean, those last 2 pitches before that one, Jordan Roberts didn't even move. Set up outside that time and just get away from her a little bit. 2-2. Swings through it, strike 3, number 3 for Odyssey Alexander.
You saw Jordan Roberts put down the thumb whenever she gave her the signal. That's going to be the pitch call for the screwball. So that's something that you can start to watch as a fan, is when the catcher is calling the pitches, we can start to figure out what's what. So Jordan Roberts puts down the thumb. That's going to be a screwball hard in to Filler to get the strikeout. Well located, right at the knees. Great pitch for Alexander for her 3rd strikeout.
And here is The star here in Wichita all season long. Sydney McKinney fouls her first pitch down the left field line. Her second season from Northern Missouri, played here at Wichita State, started all 244 games for the Shockers from 2019 to 2023, a 451 career average. Two-time American Athletic Conference Player of the Year, three-time All-American. Watches it outside for ball one.
You know, she's very comfortable on this field. Can you imagine how many hours that Sydney McKinney has spent on this field, from team practice to just putting in some reps on her own to playing games? I mean, I can't even put a number to how many hours that she has spent on this field.
I think so much about the big programs, too, producing all the pros, but you've got James Madison in the circle. Odyssey Alexander led to the Women's College World Series. You have Sydney McKinney at the plate for a Wichita State program who's been so successful in the American Athletic Conference. And these are arguably two of the most electric players in the league.
Now a couple of the players from Team Wiggins trying to get this crowd into it. I told you it's been quiet, but now you start to hear them a little bit. It has just been so quiet. I've almost felt like we've been at a PGA golf tournament with how quiet that they've been. So a couple of players coming out trying to give some life to these fans.
Two-one pitch coming from Alexander. Nadia Taylor on first with two away, and that is too low from Odyssey. Frustrated in the circle, I think, with a couple of those.
Yeah, you can tell with her body language and her facial expressions, just trying to figure out where the strike zone is. Shook off this pitch, shook off the first pitch call to get to this pitch that she's about to throw.
McKinney fouls it away.
And I do think that that's one interesting fact that I learned last year watching AUX Softball, is that all of the signs from the catcher to the pitcher are the same for every single team, every single pitcher, because they're changing teams on a weekly basis. They just try to keep things simple. So when you're on base, you're going to know what signs and what pitch is coming, but they're not going to relay that pitch to the hitter, just kind of an honesty policy.
How tough is the pitcher-catcher relationship to get down to a point where you really feel good as a pitcher?
It can be tough. I think it takes a lot of communication in the bullpen, pregame, in between innings, to try to get on the same page and understand each other and try to know exactly what your pitcher wants to throw that inning, what she wants to throw that game, because every game and inning might be a little bit different.
Full count. Check swing, did she go? No, she didn't. And a walk for Sydney McKinney. That's good for 8 points, or excuse me, 10 points on the leaderboard. And there's 2 on with 2 outs here in the second.
But these have been some good at-bats by Team Wiggins in this inning. McKinney gets a screwball, and looks like she does indeed hold up. Good call, but now Team Wiggins has 2 on.
For Kayla Kowalik. Second-year pro, but first year at Athletes Unlimited, which makes things really interesting. These pitchers maybe haven't seen Kowalik yet, and vice versa.
And Erin Koffel is her old teammate at Kentucky, and you know that they're not the exact same age, but you know that they played against each other in scrimmages and with each other, of course, but she knows her very well. I always like those matchups like that, especially when you're playing defense at shortstop against someone like Kowalik.
Look at the Kentucky record book on the offensive side. It's going to be Koffel and Kowalik all over the place.
That's right. Fun. Now we're in 2 different uniforms and trying to compete against each other after all those years of competing with each other on the same team. It's just a different feeling.
Some words of advice for Sam Fisher there about her old teammate at the plate. 1-1. Odyssey is really upset with that ball called. She wants an explanation from Jordan Roberts. Naomi Erdahl behind the plate. Mark Craver over at first base, and Rick Cohen at third. '47th pitch on the way from Odyssey Alexander. This is hit hard into left field, foul territory, and just over the glove of Riley West, who gave it a look.
That was a good piece, though, by Kowalik. Jordan Roberts talking to our home plate umpire, Naomi Erdahl. About the strike zone, trying to figure it out, where she's missing, what needs to happen in order to get the call, so that way she can relay the information to Odyssey Alexander.
They want every ounce of the zone called in this league.
See the split grip with Kayla Kowalik, so for better barrel control there, especially helps, I think, with 2 strikes, but even without 2 strikes, she was separating her hands by a couple of inches, what feels more comfortable for her. Sometimes that could be a drill that they started at practice, and then you're like, man, I kind of really like this drill, and I hit the ball hard, so I'm just going to transfer it over to the game.
2-2. Too far outside. They have all battled against Odyssey Alexander.
A lot of check swings like that, which is another way that I think that split grip can help you with the barrel control, because even that little bit of split can help you keep the barrel back for a check swing like that.
She really snapped that when she decided not to go for it. 50th pitch coming for Odyssey, 3-2. Kowalik again likes that left field line in foul territory. 21 new players in Athletes Unlimited AUX Softball this year. Only 5 returning pitchers of the 12 total. There's just a lot of unknown. You think about the talent you have at the plate and how hard it is to get outs. Odyssey Alexander, 50 pitches already. Kayla Kowalik and a couple of these other young guns look like they're going to fit in nicely. What a swing right there in the left center field. Extra bases for Kowalik. 2 runs coming around. McKinney scores! Kowalik delivers a 2-run double for the Wildcat.
Kayla Kowalik, a newcomer to Athletes Unlimited. Look at how she's just going to stay on this off-speed pitch. Not the prettiest swing by any means, but Odyssey Alexander continued to work her on the outside corner with different speeds, and then she was just able to barrel up an off-speed pitch at 63 and take it the other way. And then Sydney McKinney with the dive slide thing, kind of feet first and head first to get in there, but doesn't matter. It's going to be the 2nd run scored for Team Wiggins, and Kayla Kowalik, a 2-out, 2 RBI double to give them the lead.
20 points for Kowalik on the double individually, and puts her team in a great spot to win these first couple innings. Still have to play the bottom of the 2nd before that's decided. At the top of the order, Bubba Nichols' first trip to the plate, singled her first time up, watches that inside. Chance to talk to Bubba Nichols in center field later in this game. We've got her mic'd up as she takes one off the knee and does get 8 points for getting hit by a pitch, so it's not for nothing. 1st and 2nd down for the captain, Wiggins.
Which is so interesting this inning, Chucky, because I feel like Odyssey Alexander has pitched really well. And the first inning, even to start out this inning, well, actually more in the first inning, because this inning started out with the leadoff walk. I've just felt like her command is really good, and she's putting the ball where she wants to put it. But that's how a tricky strike zone for you, where you think that you should get a couple of calls in an at-bat or in an inning, can just change the trajectory of the inning itself and your mind and how things play out with your pitch calling and location of where you're putting pitches.
Especially you have to bring it across the plate to one of these hitters, and it could be the end of the game for you. Dangerous moment here. You've got 2 outs, but Wiggins has a lot of pop at the plate. Such a tough out.
just given up the one hit in this inning. A couple of batters reached by a walk, fielder's choice, and then a walk, but just that one hit. She's thrown a lot of pitches, gotten a lot of looks off of her in this inning.
It's getting away from her a little bit. 3-0 count to Wiggins. Have to be careful, but you've got Taylor Edwards standing on deck. That doesn't look like much fun if you're in the circle.
Yeah, it's a long inning and just getting back into the endurance side of things. So you're getting a little tired within this inning.
How quick are you, especially this first series maybe, as a captain to make changes in the circle?
That's a really good question, and I think that every captain would have a different answer for that, especially with, you want to look back at your own team's at-bats and how you've been seeing it, but it's just so early in this game. It's hard to get a feel for how you're swinging it at this point. I do feel like the at-bats that Team Wiggins has had as the captain draws that walk have just been so good in this inning. Third walk in the inning for Team Leach.
10 points for Wiggins on the walk, and now a conversation here. Aubrey Leach leading this with Odyssey Alexander. It's not just, if you're a captain, do you want to make the change, but you know these athletes. You've been at that level. You've been the All-American. You don't want to give up the ball. I mean, you're going to get some pushback. A lot of them are your friends, potentially. It's got to be hard to make these choices right now if you're Aubrey Leach.
Yeah, exactly, and you can tell that Jordan Roberts is speaking pretty directly to Odyssey Alexander along with Aubrey Leach, but Jordan Roberts, her catcher, is getting the best look at things and is probably like, look, you're making really good pitches. Just throw strikes and you're going to be able to get some outs. Only one hit in this inning, but 3 walks and a hit by pitch as well.
Bases loaded for Taylor Edwards. Homered in back-to-back games of a doubleheader, and I believe it was on opening night last year in Rosemont. It's this hard into center field. Edwards! Gone! A grand slam for Taylor Edwards! One pitch, one swing, and the game has changed.
Going to get some fans up and making some noise in this crowd. And Taylor Edwards struck out in her last at-bat. And remember, she had that 3-1 count, helped out Odyssey, and then Odyssey ended up striking her out looking. So Taylor Edwards went into this at-bat thinking, not going to happen again. I am swinging early and connecting with something that is out over the plate. Gets a mistake that is off speed, but it's just not off speed enough. Taylor Edwards stays on plane with it and is able to barrel up a line drive over that center field wall.
Had 3 home runs at AUX last year. As I mentioned, 2 of them were in their double-header day very early in the season. Already on the board here in Wichita. Delaney Wiz at a 6th spot in the top of the 2nd. Her team on top. Odyssey Alexander was the first pick for Aubrey Leach in the draft a few days ago. 3rd overall. Her 2nd pick was Montana Fouts. So she had back-to-back pitchers at the top. We'll see, maybe a professional debut coming up tonight. You never know how they will manage their teams, and Aubrey Leach has to play 2 games tonight, too.
It's been such a long inning, over 40 pitches that Odyssey Alexander has thrown, and I mean, major props to the at-bats that Team Wiggins has put together. A lot of patience at the plate, not a lot of pressing after those 2 strikeouts that they had in the first inning. This has just been a big change. All the runs scored with 2 outs, too.
Skied into foul territory. Awful goes over to make the catch, calling off Sam Fisher. 6 runs on the board for Team Wiggins. Not too bad here for Megan Wiggins in her first time as a captain. This Kowalik got it going with the double. The base is loaded though, and it's the veteran Taylor Edwards delivering. Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball is fueled by Gatorade. Living it up in the sun today in Wichita, Kansas. Enjoying some AUX softball here. So we had our draft a few days ago to name our Series 1 teams, and I don't know, maybe no surprises here at the top. Odyssey Alexander, last year's champion, selected first overall, followed by Taylor Edwards and Alyssa Denham, and a lot of pitchers picked toward the top 4. The top 5 are pitchers, and we've kind of come to expect that in all of the drafts, that the arms are going to go first.
The game starts in the circle. It is so important to have quality pitchers who have the hot hand and looking good.
Jocelyn Allo's first ever Athletes Unlimited at bat right here. Swings through it for strike 1 against McQuillan. No one knows more about Athletes Unlimited than Savannah Collins, who I'm sure had a close eye on the draft. So many new faces, Savannah. What stood out to you about that draft?
I think what sticks out is captains who chose to go all in on the newcomers and those who chose to go with familiarity. So this right here is the spring chickens in the gold dugout, and that's because Aubrey Leach only drafted 4 returners, including herself. She went all in on the newcomers, especially the rookies. And she had some reasoning in that. She said, you know what? Their timing is on. Their reads are right now, and their instincts are fresh because they've been seeing so much softball lately. So she said, you know what? I think I have the most talented group of rookies on my squad.
That's a good point. They're fresh from the college season. Been training with their coaches and practicing every day and playing some quality competition. So totally see that outlook. It's just a interesting strategy there. Fresh approach.
On the other side, Savannah, for Megan Wiggins, she kind of stuck in her comfort zone as Allo's first AB as an Athletes Unlimited player ends in a walk, but Megan Wiggins goes basically all veterans, it seems like, Savannah.
Yep, that's what she said, especially in her number 1 pick, Taylor Edwards. She talked so much about Taylor's defense as a catcher, both of them being veterans on opposite ends of the field, one behind the plate, one all the way out in center field. But that was really the theme of this whole group. Same with her next 2 picks, McQuillan and Ocasio being returning pitchers who she thought complemented each other really well. But I think the biggest part about Wiggins' strategy that we just saw last inning was when she talked about her versatility of her offense. She said she wanted speed in the base path. We saw that with McKinney going for home on that double, and then she also wanted power. And then we see that with her number 1 pick in Edwards. She wanted a little bit of everything, and we saw a little bit of everything last inning too.
Edwards proven her worth as that top pick for Team Wiggins. When you look at this group, Savannah, what stands out to you? Like, what are you hearing from the new players in their first time at Athletes Unlimited?
Gosh, the excitement. I think when we started Athletes Unlimited, everybody was so new, so fresh, and it was really interesting on media day to hear the rookies go, I've wanted to play Athletes Unlimited my entire college career. And that's because it was established while some of them were still in high school. So that was really special to see how the league has grown and how college and high school athletes look to AU as their dream now. That's not something we've always heard. As this league has become more established, these rookies were excited to be a part of it. Same with the newcomers too, who maybe have a year or 2 in pro and joining AU here for the first time.
Yeah, we're excited to see it all too, Savannah. We will stay tuned with Savannah throughout the season. Always has some good stuff. Runner out at second base in the form of Morgan DeBoard out of Loyola Marymount in Minnesota, where she finished her career as Riley West takes her first crack at it at the plate, a rookie out of Tennessee. West from Eastvale, California, had a career year to finish her volunteer career this season. All SEC first team, hit .343 with 13 home runs. basically played for her captain, Aubrey Leach, who's been a GA at Tennessee the last few seasons. So it was cool to see Aubrey Leach not just take Riley West, but also go get Peyton Gottschall, who was at Tennessee the last couple years.
Went right into the dugout pregame, and it was Riley West, Peyton Gottschall, and Aubrey Leach all right by each other. I'm like, didn't you guys just have spend enough time together, you know, during the entire season, an entire year that just ended like last week or the week before? Riley West was just thrilled, though, to be getting to play with Aubrey Leach. Really cool hearing from her.
And this is outside ball one. Aubrey Leach, super involved in CrossFit. She was a GA at Tennessee the last few years, and no big deal, just graduated from law school at the University of Tennessee. All while training to be a professional athlete, playing Athletes Unlimited. Ground ball left side to McKinney. Has to go to one here, low throw, but they do make the play over at first base. There's one out.
Still productive out there by Riley West to advance the runners an extra 60 feet. It's going to feel like it's important for Team Leach to answer back after Team Wiggins put up those 6 runs in the top of the inning.
Jordan Roberts, first at bat of the AUX season. Alo started this off with a walk, followed by a single on a bunt by Bailey Klingler. Roberts at the plate, her 5th season from Live Oak, California. Played her college ball at Florida. Had a perfect fielding percentage over her career. Started 171 games for Tim Walton. It's in there for a strike 2. And owns her own company, Daily Cup of Joe Coffee Company, which is a mobile coffee company, which I think is so cool.
And the best name, her name is Jordan, but they call her Doe. They call her Joe, so Daily Cup of Joe. So cute.
She was really good at Athletes Unlimited's AUX season last year. Hit a couple home runs, 8 RBIs with a .421 average. Talked about defensively, it's what she does at the plate. Look at that swing in a left center field and hops over the wall for a ground rule double. Both runs will score, though, as Team Leach strikes back here in the bottom of the second.
A great piece of hitting by Jordan Roberts. Again, we talked about Team Leach being able to answer back to the 6 runs that Team Wiggins had put on the board. And Jordan Roberts able to step up with a 2-strike double here. It's an off-speed pitch, but she stays so deep into her legs. Look at her go down and use her legs to be able to get her barrel down to that pitch, stick with it long enough to hit it hard just over the left field wall off the bounce.
Just 1 out and a runner on second. Still a long way to go. That's 20 points for Roberts, but there's also 20 inning win points on the line, combined between the first and second innings. Team Leach would need 4 more to have those roll over again, 5 to win the points. Odyssey Alexander in the 8-hole, also doing some hitting as we saw last season.
Played in a celebrity softball game at Louisiana Monroe with Odyssey Alexander, among others, Haley Lee as well. I think that was in, it was in October, and Odyssey Alexander was crushing at the plate. It's fun.
Who was pitching, you?
It was slow pitch? No, I was not pitching. I was the coach of that team. I think it was slow pitch, but Odyssey did pitch an inning against the ULM hitters, which was really cool to see and cool for them to get to face her.
I was trying to poke some fun at you there, you know? You said she was She was raking,
because, yeah,
so
she's raking. So,
yeah.
I mean, I didn't even skip a beat because whether it's slow pitch or me pitching, I think it would have felt the same to her. So that's why I didn't even skip a beat, and I unfortunately got hit by a pitch there.
We know you still got a little left in the tank if we need an inning or two. Right?
Oh my goodness, I would not be able to raise my right arm for I think 2 weeks.
It's all right though.
We played wiffle ball at the Women's College World Series, and I was sore from our
Okay.
wiffle ball game with our ESPN team.
But your team won though, right?
Our team won.
Yeah.
Girls versus boys. Girls rule.
There you go.
Pitch.
McQuillan changing speeds against Mackenzie Clark, her first professional at bat. I saw Clark trying to chase down that grand slam by Edwards. If she had another step, you just never know with Mackenzie Clark's ability in center field. 1-1 count now to the rookie. Florida, and then burst onto the scene in 2021 as a freshman at Clemson, first team All-ACC selection. 59 hits at least in all 4 years there. You see the top 7 right now, that leaderboard starting to take shape. Taylor Edwards right at the top because of that grand slam. Did for 40 points. You see the negatives, that comes from earned runs that pitchers have allowed. So Odyssey Alexander headed in the wrong direction currently, but we expect her to make her climb at some point. AUX is a little different too. The championship season, after a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, things start to really take shape. AUX, you're going to go into the final day and you're going to have 15 to 20 players who can realistically win it.
That's a good take. That looked pretty good from our vantage point, maybe a little bit outside.
3-2 now with just 1 away and 2 on. Clark fouls that toward the stands. They're 3-2 on the way from McQuillan. Huge swing from Clark. It's going to hang up in center field. Bubba Nichols and the runners stay put. 2 outs. Be sure to follow AU Pro Softball on all your favorite social media platforms to stay up to date with all the great content featuring your favorite players, highlights, mic'd ups, the hot seat, behind the scenes action, and more. Search at AU Pro Sports today.
Do a great job on social media. Oh my gosh, the features, tremendous, the pictures.
That's ripped up the middle for a base hit. Roberts will hold at third base. No way, right? Back to back, bases loaded here in the second inning. 6 runs from Team Leach in the top of the second, and now her team has a chance to answer. Aubrey keeping it alive for her squad. A single, her first hit of the season to make way for the rookie, Aaron Koffel. Out of high school was one of the highest ever recruits to sign for Kentucky, and Rachel Lawson, the record holder in home runs, walks, and RBIs for the Wildcats. 1-1 count.
Seemed like every single year she was hitting 15, 20 home runs. Such a good hitter with so much patience. I mean, it was her eye at the plate that really grew in her 4 years at Kentucky.
It's under this shallow right field. Filler makes the catch, and they strand the bases loaded. A big out right there for Taylor McQuillan and company, and it's 20 win points for everybody on Team Wiggins. You see that plus 20 there at the bottom of the line score. Team Wiggins 6-2 in the second inning. You had those rollover 10 inning points from the first. Team Wiggins has our first win points of the season. And really, if you want us to break down the leaderboard even further, if you want to win this individually, you have to win as a team.
They talk about that a lot, how important it is to win the innings, how important it is to win the games. And you see it too, that you can have an okay year offensively, but finish top 10, maybe even top 5, just because you're on the winning team a lot of times. So still winning as a team is important just as much as your individual performance on the leaderboard.
We were talking about Megan Wiggins before we came on the air. She knows that well because her first few seasons of Athletes Unlimited, she hit over 300 all 3 years. Her average drops down last AUX to a little bit under 300, and she ends up having her best finish of her career because she won all the time. Pressure on these captains because everyone's looking at you maybe after a bad week.
Remember, it's the first time that Megan Wiggins has been captain in her 7 AU seasons, so huge deal for her to be at the top and be the one that got to choose her own team.
Chance for the Wichita native Kelsey Stewart-Hunter, who walked her first trip to the plate. Watches that on the outside corner, strike 1. All right, your Odyssey right now, you just gave up 6. Still out there, how do you regroup?
Just take a deep breath and almost start over. I mean, I don't feel like she pitched poorly in that second inning. Gave up a couple of big hits, but just didn't get some calls to go her way. And I think that that's why you see her still out there. Aubrey Leach has a lot of confidence in her. I'm sure communicating with Jordan Roberts about how she looks. And I mean, that inning just got a little out of hand with those 2 swings, the Kowalik double and the Edwards grand slam. But besides that, I feel like she's still commanding the ball pretty well.
Swing right there from Stewart-Hunter. She has her first hit back in her hometown.
A couple of good at-bats by her, too. I mean, that pitch was more of a pitcher's pitch. It was about a ball off the plate. Kelsey Hunter just gets her barrel out to this pitch, doesn't try to do too much, lets Odyssey Alexander supply the power, but you see that was about a ball off the plate. Literally, Kelsey Stewart-Hunter just gets to contact and loops it over Aaron Koffel's head.
Leah Taylor grounded into a fielder's choice her first time up. It's a good swing from Nadia into right center. Diving catch out there, Mackenzie Clark. Welcome to the pros and a double play to top it off.
Oh my gosh, what a play. After that first ball went out to her to lead off this game, she had a maybe opportunity to lay out for it, didn't take it, but she sees this one in the air and she absolutely says that is not happening again. She got such a good jump. Look at her jump and then the perfectly timed layout to be able to rob that hit. And then, I mean, when she came in with her throw, she has a great arm, by the way. Kelsey Stewart-Hunter was at second base. Mackenzie Clark has such a good arm. Her sunglasses were down in the middle of her face. That did not deter her from that perfect throw in the double play.
We had a really, our view we talked about earlier, we're down low on the third base side, but her range, Amanda, I mean, the speed, she got full speed in about 2 strides.
My goodness, that was beautiful.
She wasn't far away from at least having a shot at Taylor Edwards' grand slam earlier, and she shows off the glove right there. Think of all the great gloves we have in this league, and Mackenzie Clark is going to fit in very nicely.
Yeah, and she had told me too, I think a couple of years ago, that she grew up hating the outfield, but accepted playing there in 8th or 9th grade and modeled her game after AJ Andrews and Kelly Kretschmann. Those are 2 great outfielders to model your game after.
Miller awkwardly into shallow center, caught there by Aaron Koffel, and that'll do it. Basically a 1-2-3 inning there for Odyssey Alexander, but it's Mackenzie Clark making some noise in center field. Treat for these young fans. Mackenzie Clark's catch in center field, absolutely tremendous. Nadia Taylor thinking, come on, now it's my first base hit of the season you took from me right there, but 6-2, Team Wiggins leading Team Leach, coming to the plate and momentum there maybe from the defensive side.
I think what's so cool is that, I mean, we have a sold-out crowd. It is opening day. The atmosphere is a little bit quiet at times, but a play like Mackenzie Clark's play is what's going to get these fans into it, and these little girls who are watching them just ready to go out themselves and make those plays. I love to see the youth softball players here and getting to see plays like that, because I know that they're going to go home at practice and in games and try to make those same plays like their role models on the field.
So many of them know these players too. I mean, we hear them on the fences before the games, yelling their names, yelling your name too. They're just so in tune to what's going on in the softball world. Of course, the Women's College World Series wrapping up about 4 days ago with the Oklahoma 4-peat. Ground ball from Sam Fisher, taken care of by Sydney McKinney. Nice job to scoop it up. That's a Wichita connection there from McKinney to Stuart Hunter at first. There's one out.
Well, and opening day just feels so fresh, Chucky. You don't have an ERA entering the game. You don't have a batting average. You don't have anything going really well or really bad for that matter too. So this is a fresh start for all these players. Everything seems new and exciting, thinking about the possibilities of the season and how your season could play out. So opening day just feels different than when you get in the middle of the season.
Outside to Jocelyn Allo, her second at bat as a pro, and we have Bubba Nichols on the field right now in center field joining us live. Bubba, thank you so much. How excited are you for opening day right now?
Oh yeah, this is so exciting, especially because a lot of us, this is our first time in Kansas, so we're excited just to be here and just be in front of this crowd.
Yeah, it's a little bit quiet, don't you think, Bubba? How do we get these fans more into this game and a little bit louder? What do you think?
You know, honestly, I was really hoping that Mackenzie's play was going to cause some ruckus. I did a little bit, but you saw Alicia Ocasio, she was outside.
Bubba,
Yeah.
what is it like to have an opening day, especially after so many months of not having games and then going into today just full steam ahead? What's it like?
Yeah, it's pretty challenging at times. A lot of us live all over the country doing various things throughout the year, but whenever we have the free time and whenever we have to prioritize the time to train for this and just to come in at a very high level, it can be challenging, but it's nothing that we haven't experienced already in college or growing up. So a lot of us we take the time to prepare where we can in our respective places that we live.
Bubba, 21 new players to Athletes Unlimited. I'm sure a lot of you know each other to an extent, but how much different has the build-up this last week been than maybe the past seasons you've been a part of?
It's been a lot of fun seeing all the new signees. I think that there's a lot of really amazing talent that was added to the roster, and it's just really cool to just compete against new people that we may have not seen in a while. Or the last time I faced a lot of these women was in college or with the national team. So it's exciting to see them on the stage and be able to compete together.
You mentioned kind of being creative with getting in the reps and preparation going into the season. What was it like for you with your role at UCLA to be able to find the time to prepare for this?
Yeah, as a graduate manager at UCLA, I definitely had them more of a priority because we were shooting for, that natty, and it definitely took a lot of sacrifice, but it was a lot of late cage visits, hitting off of a tee, having my husband front toss me, and I taught him how to pitch to me. So
awesome.
You really did I have to get creative. All of us have to get creative just to be able to know how to prepare for this.
How is he pitching?
Honestly, he's getting there. I told him that the more we develop that rise ball, he could be nasty. And I'm honestly tempted to develop him for like a men's fast pitch league, so I'm tempted. No promises, though.
Yeah, well, you used to be a pitcher, so you could give him pitching lessons and easily develop him, right?
Yeah, I mean, easily. Easily is the word.
Is he aware that he's going to be playing men's fast pitch, or is he finding that out right now?
I think he might be finding that out right now at this very moment. But honestly, I have brought it up to him, so we'll see. Honestly, he likes throwing to me and preparing me a lot, so we'll see.
But what's your goal for this AUX season?
Honestly, I'm really just looking forward to just experiencing AUX for the first time. This is my first time a part of AUX personally, and I'm definitely going to be in champ season for season 5 in Rosemont. So honestly, just getting my feet back into a game mode and being able to compete and be able to be prepared for champ season 2. But obviously I want to do well in this league as well.
I asked you about the first-year players a little bit, but anybody stand out to you that you haven't been around before as a pro that has stood out this last week?
This last week, honestly, I want to say Haley Lee. She was dropping some bombs there during our open practice. So she's not in this game, but she definitely was crushing some.
We did a celebrity softball game, I mentioned that earlier, Bubba, at Louisiana Monroe, and Haley Lee, talk about dropping bombs. Oh my gosh, every time she stepped up, it was like, she's probably about to hit another home run here.
Yeah, I like seeing a lot of these power hitters like Klingler right now. They have a lot of power, and so it's really exciting just to see them face pitchers that, like McQuillan and a lot of us that have been around, and even new ones. Just to see how they do and how they compete. It's good to learn from them.
Have you been locked in on some of the new pitchers you haven't seen before, just trying to get a little bit of a scout before you see them this season?
Yeah, I think Wiggins has done a really good job of preparing us. Throughout just before this game, we actually have been looking at pitchers and going off of each other's notes of what we know from the past and facing them prior. So we're definitely going to do that for tomorrow as well. So I think that Megan Wiggins, she does a great job of preparing all of us as hitters.
Haley Klingler taking that off the head just a little bit, but seems all right. Still a 3-2 count. We're talking to Bubba Nichols out in center field. Such great access here at Athletes Unlimited. Klingler walks to keep it alive. Bubba, you were the national champs in 2019 to knock off the Oklahoma Sooners. What is the secret to that? Because they've been so dominant since then, but what stands out to you about when you guys did it at UCLA? What's it take?
Honestly, you know, I wish there was a secret, but it really is just being yourself and just trusting your gifts and talents. I mean, I feel like a lot of times there's a lot of pressure on these athletes to compete to a level that maybe or be outside of themselves, whereas I feel like just the teams in the past that have had great success I've been on, they were just being themselves and very loose and trusting. And I think that, honestly, I guess that is the secret.
West, the rookie out of Tennessee, fouls that into the stands. Who is the toughest pitcher? We're watching Taylor McQuillan for you guys right now. Not a lot of lefties here. Who's the toughest pitcher for you at Athletes Unlimited? Like, who stands out?
Ooh, you know, honestly, they all are so different. I definitely want to see more the rookies or people that haven't been in this league, how they compete, because honestly, I think that the catchers play a really big role in the success of each pitcher. So it really just depends on the battery that day. So I think all of them were tough. Every single one of them have gotten all of us out, so it really just depends on the battery and how they're rolling, because they each got some really good stuff.
2-1 from McQuillan.
Yeah, you're good.
It's fouled out of play. Bubba, we really appreciate the time. Always love talking to you guys out in the field, and thanks for doing it for us.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate talking.
Bubba Nichols, she is so talented, now a veteran in this league, but so many new faces, and we're excited to hear from a lot of them. I want to ask Mackenzie Clark about that catch out in center field. We're going to have to get her on the mic soon. That's what we're able to do at Athletes Unlimited. The players, everyone involved with AU is so good about giving us that extra access. 2-2 now from McQuillan. Gets away right back to Edwards, but Klingler is able to take second.
Yeah, that's what I love about the access to these players, is that they're just so open about their journeys and what they've learned and what they've been working on, and just all the inside scoop on pretty much everything. And go from the college game where a lot of the coaches won't tell you everything about the players. There's a lot of secrets and inside information that they don't want you to know when you're a broadcaster, to coming here and get so much inside access that is so refreshing.
You don't get to talk to the players a lot
Right.
at the college level, so there are a A lot of mysteries, really, as McQuillan paints the inside corner against the rookie and gets out of the inning. Zeros in the third, so some rollover points coming up in the fourth inning.
Now 4 strikeouts for Taylor McQuillan, and she is looking good, spinning her pitches and changing speeds.
Batters have been relentless at the plate, but a couple innings of zeros and then the big inning in the second. 8 combined runs, 6 of them belonging to Team Wiggins, as you get a look at Sydney McKinney, one of the greats here at Wichita State, and gets another crack at it, her second at bat of the season. The fans ready to roll for 26. McKinney, Kowalik, Nichols, 8-9-1 due up here for Team Wiggins against Odyssey Alexander, who settled in nicely in the third inning after that big 6 spot she gave up in the second. You pointed out, I mean, maybe got squeezed a little in that inning. She certainly thought she did. Was able to respond in the third.
She needed that third inning. 20 pitches that she threw in the first, 44 pitches in the second, and then only 8 in the third inning. So that quick inning definitely helped her out, and so did that diving play by Mackenzie Clark, the rook, out in center field.
Sydney McKinney in the old Shocker uni right there. Absolute stud at the college level and at the pro level, as we are quickly finding out in her young career. Finished her career as a 3-time All-American, first team as a senior. From ask of Roberts, who hunches over for just a second. She's laughing, that's the good news. Jordan Roberts looks like she's all right.
That's good. Sydney McKinney actually made like a PowerPoint presentation of places to visit in Wichita. You got to know the coffee shops, you got to know the breakfast spots, lunch, dinner, things to do outside of just simply eating and playing softball, because there is life actually outside of meals and softball, believe it or not. Super cute that she made that.
Ground ball, it's going to be tough to get her, so speedy. The throw to first, not in time. McKinney blazing down the line.
She does have really good speed, but it was a hop that just happened back behind the circle that caused Aaron Koffel just a slight delay in being able to receive the ball, and she was reading the hop but was not able to get it. I mean, Sydney McKinney has great speed, but it was the hop just beyond the circle that caused her to take a slightly different, deeper angle behind second base, and that deeper angle helped Sydney McKinney get down to first.
Makes way for Kowalik, who had a 2-run double in that second inning.
That's a difference too, Chucky, of going from playing in Chicago, where it's an all-turf infield and outfield, to then playing on a more natural surface here in Wichita. You're going to get some not as true hops sometimes, because that's just how the field plays. Between the spin and maybe hitting a different piece of dirt or a little divot from a cleat. I mean, it's just a more natural playing surface than what you have on the turf at Rosemont.
Saw that in the debut year of AUX in San Diego a couple seasons ago. Those lefty speedsters absolutely loved it in San Diego because it was real dirt. A lot of them saying that they hadn't played on real dirt in years. I think they do such a great job presenting these stadiums. The Athletes Unlimited brand all over the field. Alex slaps that back to Odyssey, and that's going to be an infield single. Little swinging bunt there for Kayla Kowalik. We've seen her drive it into a gap, and now that.
She is the perfect reflection of the type of team that Megan Wiggins wanted to draft. Power and speed, because Kayla Kowalik had that 2 RBI double, and then now able to use her short game to be able to put this ball down on the ground in no man's land and leg it out. Back-to-back infield singles for Team Wiggins, and now the top of the order is coming up, and we'll face a new pitcher.
Odyssey's day is done with Kowalik back to the top of the order, and it will be a debut for one of the rookies, Sarah Willis out of UCF. When we come back, we'll take the circle.
Hi, I'm pitcher Sarah Willis, and my favorite pitch to throw is my changeup because it keeps people off balance and makes them look silly.
And that changeup can make hitters look very silly. I can't wait for you to see her throw this pitch, but she'll mix in some other pitches as well, relying on her drop ball the most at UCF. She threw that about 27% of the time. Her curveball, 25% of the time, and her rise ball as well. So a really good mix of pitch usage between those pitches, throws with good velocity, but that changeup is definitely the one to look out for.
Sarah Willis out there talking to a former teammate of hers. She started her career at Washington, spent a couple years there. That's where she would have ran into Bailey Klingler, and then 2 years to finish her career at UCF. Was the AAC Pitcher of the Year as a junior at UCF before they made the transition this year to the Big 12. So you have a former American Athletic Conference Pitcher of the Year in the circle. You've got the Player of the Year twice in that conference standing on second base in Sydney McKinney, so those two pretty familiar with each other.
And she has such a unique delivery with after she gathers herself and puts her ball in her glove, you'll notice her go all the way down into her legs where her left knee almost hits the ground. I mean, just think about how strong her legs are to get into that position over and over again. I mean, I would be so sore after like 10 of those, but she does it 100. I mean, she threw, I think, 150, 180 pitch game earlier this year.
Ontario, California. It's hit hard into right center field and gone! Bubba Nichols, that is not kind to the rookie Willis. A 3-run shot for Bubba.
And of course, that is 40 points earned for Bubba.
40-point swing for Bubba Nichols on the 3-run home run, and Team Wiggins leads by 7.
Got herself in a juicy 2-1 count, and she just takes this outside curveball that is not terribly located, maybe a little bit more on the plate, but the height of it wasn't bad at all. But just a great swing by a player who is seeing Sarah Willis for the very first time, at least professionally. 2-1, 3-run home run by Bubba Nichols.
Now Megan Wiggins, who I think at least internally has a smile on her face with the team that she's put together and the start that they're off to. 20 points on the line here between the 3rd and 4th innings, and Team Wiggins off to a great start to collect those. Let's go to Savannah with Bubba Nichols.
Bubba, adjusting to a new pitcher. When you go out there and you have to adjust to a pitcher that you haven't seen before, how did you find your timing, especially with someone who has a unique windup like Sarah Willis?
Honestly, I went in with a game plan. I talked to Wiggs about it, and I was just trying to see what she would throw. It's been a while, or I don't think I faced Sarah before, so I honestly just wanted to see some pitches, and I saw one that was good enough to hit, and I went for it.
This team has the ability to bounce off of each other and adjust. What is it about the connections you all have that's really paid off at the plate and being able to make those adjustments throughout the game?
I think just playing the game simple. I don't think that we're trying to do too much. I think that's our goal, is to just trust how to play the game right, and we're just trying to swing at strikes, take balls, make good throws, just kind of the basics we're trying to stick to. So
thanks, Bubba. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Savannah.
It's one of my favorite things that we get to do, Savannah. I also like that it's Savannah out there running around in the heat to go back and forth between the dugouts, but I love that we get that instant reaction from Bubba Nichols after the home run.
Tell that they are just trying to keep things simple, and at the same time, they look really prepared for what's coming. She's talked about that a couple of times now, that their captain, Megan Wiggins, who is up to bat now, is giving them the lowdown on any pitcher that they might face. And so you not only have a captain and also a 2-hole hitter, but you have basically a hitting coach in your dugout with you to help prepare you. There's that changeup that we were mentioning. First time that she threw it was on that full count. It's of walking Wiggins.
10 points for Wiggins on the walk. Was in some trouble here with Taylor Edwards coming to the plate, fresh off the grand slam in the second inning. What a swing it was.
On the first pitch of her at bat, a grand slam off of Odyssey Alexander, and look at her go down and just get her barrel to that pitch over center field. Just out of reach of Mackenzie Clark.
Edwards knew already. Nadia Taylor forgot that if you're going to get it by Mackenzie Clark, it's got to be over the wall. There's that changeup, 2-0. You can't really simulate it, can you, as a rookie, what you get in this league with these hitters?
Well, I was going to say you can't really simulate that changeup, but no, you can't. It's hard because these hitters are just so talented and experienced. Seen and hit against some of the best pitchers in the world in their careers, and so then it's your turn to throw against them, and you have to find a way to make something look a little different, make something look a little bit more deceptive and spinny, and learn too how far off the plate that you want to work and what you can get called a strike, and then work more in on the plate.
There's Odyssey Alexander looking on. Willis delivers that one down and away. 3-1 to Edwards now. Edwards go, she did. Strike two, and she has to strap the Evo shield back on.
Second time in this game that she's been pretty aggressive in that 3-1 count and chasing something that's been out of the zone. First time that she did against Odyssey Alexander, she ended up striking out.
Edwards second on the leaderboard behind Bubba Nichols. Here on opening day of AUX. Just hit really hard. Chance for two though. Leach, Koffel, and they get Edwards. 4-6-3, big time there for Sarah Willis.
This is the turn that we were looking for earlier in this game. The Leach Koffel combination up the middle of the field, that all SEC infield, Tennessee to Kentucky, to turn it to Klingler.
Delaney Wiz, she's 0 for 2. Round out and a pop-up so far. Willis came into a tough spot, top of the order with 2 on and nobody out as Wiz sends this into right field. The throw to first gets away, but Roberts is there.
It's a pretty bouncy outfield that you'll notice because it is with turf. So we've seen a ground roll double bounce over the outfield wall. We saw a high bounce there to Morgan DeBoer out right field.
Kelsey Stewart-Hunter, she's had a really good start at the plate. You mentioned that earlier. Her quality of at-bats has a walk and a single so far. th pitch in relief coming for Sarah Willis. Good spot on the outside corner to Stewart-Hunter.
Bit of an off-speed pitch there for Sarah Willis. She'll ramp it up to 66, 67. That one was at 62, but it's her changeup that drops down to 41, 42 miles an hour.
Faced some of the best hitters this season. She was all Big 12 first team this year. They lost in the Tallahassee Regional. That was a really tough regional for Florida State to get through.
The game that she pitched against Maddie Penta, I need to go back and do a little research for how many innings it was, but it was late into the night, the Tallahassee Regional, and to think that both of them, I mean, they just pitched their guts out, honestly, both of them, and I think that they're both playing in this league So special. Talented pitchers.
3 a.m. I think is when that one
3
finished,
a.m.
right?
Poor Mark Neely and Carol Bruggeman had to go deep into the night with that one.
Pretty sure they had, is it the 3-game day the next day after that? I'm pretty sure. Either way, that's a tough recovery. Stuart Hunter to first. Klingler takes care of it for out number 3. Willis gives up the big swing, though, to Bubba Nichols.
Bubba Nichols, we were just talking to her. She is feeling prepared at the plate because of their captain, Megan Wiggins. Goes with this curveball the opposite way. 3-run home run by Bubba Nichols to give their team an even bigger lead. This is a Taylor McQuillan pitching package, but what I want you to see is the different spots that she hits. She can go down and away. She can go to the other side of the plate as well, up in the zone, and she can change speed. So being able to use her curveball inside to righties, away from lefties, being able to go up in the zone against a hitter like Jocelyn Allo, who hit 122 college home runs, and then go to that changeup. Taylor McQuillan has been looking good, only giving up 3 hits through 3 innings.
Strikeouts. McQuillan as she looks to secure 20 more inning win points here for Team Wiggins, leading 9-2 in the bottom of the 4th as Jordan Roberts, Odyssey Alexander, and Mackenzie Clark do up for Team Leach, who will play a doubleheader tonight. Play against Jesse Warren's team in Game 2. Set to start about 7:30, 8:30 Eastern. 6 games here in Series 1 to kick things off. They'll have an off day on Wednesday before we finish Series 1 on Thursday. We draft new teams on Friday and do it all over again. One from McQuillan to Roberts. 2 RBI double, her first trip up, 2-2.
Getting some good swings and misses, Taylor McQuillan is as well, and some different pitches. Curve, little changeup that she's throwing in there.
Owen wanted that one on the outside corner, doesn't get it.
Oh, I would have wanted that one too. That looked like it should have been a strike, and close call.
Oh man, that is scorched into the stands. Got our first chair chat of the season. It's Nadia Taylor, the longtime pro out of the University of Texas. Well, Nadia, we were just talking about Taylor McQuillan. What's she doing so well? Why is she so tough in the circle?
Man, I think it's just really her mentality, veteran mentality, going and attacking the zone. You know, feeding the defense. Also, when things aren't going well, she's still keeping the energy and going right at the next hitter.
Nadia, we were hearing from Bubba about Coach Wiggins or Captain Wiggins or your teammate Megan Wiggins, kind of giving you guys some information on each of the pitchers that you guys were going to be facing. How did that work out, and what was the scouting report like that she gave you?
Yeah, so facing Odyssey, we knew that she would obviously show the look up and in. But, you know, she added a curveball, off-speed curveball to our arsenal, so we knew that, you know, she would obviously work that in today, and I think that everybody did a good job adjusting.
This is Odyssey at the plate right now, 1-0 count against McQuillan. Nadia, you're, of course, an assistant coach at Houston. You're with Hope Troutwine, who will also see this season. What do you like as a coach?
I think the biggest thing is just really being able to help with the personal development, be able to grind with them, allow them to feel things and, you know, see them, but also obviously the X's and O's and them, you know, being able to make adjustments and whatnot. So I really love that hitting aspect, but I really love helping them learn and grow as people.
And you're this calm as a coach too, right?
I would say in games, yes. In practice, we turn it up a notch.
Okay.
Get those internal clocks sped up a little bit.
How did you become so passionate about hitting?
I would say, honestly, this is my 10th season, and I think every year, I'm understanding a little bit more. So, when we talk about, the biomechanics or, kinematic sequence, understanding, what exactly, some of that stuff means now, understanding what's feel and what's real. And I think it's really just, it's happened for me, just playing every year, getting better.
Nadia, we always appreciate talking to you. Glad you're back again, year 10. Can you believe it? 10 years as a pro?
10 years, feeling young.
Unbelievable. Congrats, Nadia. We're glad to have you back again.
Thanks for having me.
Nadia Taylor, a pro's pro. Has been doing it a long time. Dangerous hitter, so much power in that bat. Long time terrorizer of Big 12 pitchers, 4-time All Big 12. Finished her college career at Texas in 2012. She had to fight to make a pro team when she got out of college. They go to a multiple tryouts before finally cracking a roster. Mackenzie Clark starting her pro career off with a bang in center field. A tremendous catch. No doubt one of the best catches we will see all season, and we'll see a lot of them. A 2-1 count against Taylor McQuillan. Gets fouled up and away.
That catch is definitely a highlight. I mean, imagine being a rookie playing your first ever pro softball game and you make this catch. You want people to know that you play like this, right? Like you're new, you want to introduce yourself, and that's Mackenzie Clark introducing herself in a big way to Athletes Unlimited, saying, all right, you put me in center field, I'll make plays like this for you back behind you.
I missed my opportunity to ask Nadia Taylor what she thinks of Mackenzie Clark after robbing her of that hit.
Not going to be as fond of memories, I don't think, as Odyssey Alexander, who was pitching.
2-2 here. Another good battle brewing between Clark and McQuillan. Pitch number 90 from Taylor McQuillan. This is outside full count. Fans who have followed AU for many years, you know the story of Taylor McQuillan. For those of you who don't, she's been legally blind in her left eye since birth. First team All-American at Arizona, won 80 games as that one gets sent back up the middle. It's the first career hit for Mackenzie Clark.
Taylor McQuillan is just such a special player, and that she would never be able to know that she's legally blind in one eye. I found that out when she was playing in college. And I mean, to be a pitcher and be able to really feel and understand depth perception and see spin and the mechanical side of things and targets and how important vision is to your awareness with everything that you do. I mean, for her to overcome that is absolutely incredible.
Proudest moment, she says, representing her family for Team Mexico at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Her 5th season of Athletes Unlimited. 3-1 with a 2.15 ERA in the championship season last year. Played professionally in Japan as well as she goes at Aubrey Leach.
Yeah, we talked about her getting better just every season, Taylor McQuillan, and last year she said that her AU goal was to stop trying to prove and just be in those moments. And I think that you can see her be able to pitch more free because of that mindset of stop trying to prove to people that you belong, but just being herself and owning who she is as a pitcher, somebody who relies on spin, somebody that relies on changing speeds, and just owning those strengths, going to them more often and be able to get hitters out in different ways.
Strike delivery is inside to Leach, 2-2.
Remember too that she finished playing in Japan in November, and she said she started training with a new trainer and lost 35 pounds to better her health and athletic ability. Oh, just real serious coming into this season.
Down to first, not in time from Edwards. Worth a shot over there. Get Clark back to the base. Rookies kind of maybe still figuring out the scoring system as far as how things go. We talked to Sam Fisher today about that, and starting to ask little questions here and there about how things work. Filler runs that down up the middle for the third out. So the first career hit from Mackenzie Clark at the pro level. Then McQuillan retires Leach. 20 more inning win points for Team Wiggins. Thursday on ESPN, the WNBA Commissioner's Cup in Arlington, Texas. It's the Storm versus the Wings, 7 Eastern on ESPN and the app. You can see the WNBA's second leading scorer, Arike Ogunbowale, in action. Seattle and Dallas Thursday at 7 Eastern. Such a great time to be a fan of women's professional sports right now. And to add to that excitement of the WNBA and the NWSL, you get the announcement last weekend at the Women's College World Series from Athletes Unlimited of a new league that will begin in May of 2025. It's called AUSL, and it's basically a traditional format softball league. And that will lead into the championship season, which occurs the end of July into August. That season will then be renamed the AUSL Champions Cup beginning in 2025. I just think a ton of excitement for the new league. You get that traditional format as Nadia Taylor rips another one. There's no robbing that up the middle. You get that traditional format league, Amanda. You break things up into 4 teams for the first year. They're going to move around the country and play games. And then I just think it builds even more momentum for the championship season.
Oh, yeah. I think that there's a lot of excitement and buzz around this AUSL, and can't wait for 2025. And huge announcement that came out during the Women's College World Series about this more traditional league. And ESPN going to carry a minimum of 18 games, which is also huge. The partnership and relationship with AU and ESPN is instrumental, in my opinion, the growth of the league and professional softball and softball alike. Being able to have these games on TV where people can see them and see these athletes compete past the college season. You love that.
Think about the talent we have already in the league, then this rookie class that looks outstanding, and then I know you've got to be itching to see some of those juniors and seniors at the college level who are going to be the next stars of the pro game in the coming years. They've got a reliable place to come and play. Thanks to the Athletes Unlimited brand, Jonathan Soros and John Patrikoff, the co-founders. The women in this league will say nothing but great things about those two who have made such an impact on the, not just softball, but across the professional landscape for women's sports, as that's a ground out from Andrea Filler, and there's one out.
Well, and it's just all the details that are so thoughtfully taken care of, and the investment of not just the financial investment, because that's important, but of the time and energy and respect for these athletes and understanding of what all goes into it, of being a professional athlete and wanting to help them every single step of the way, from social media to taking care of their bodies to their performance on the field and development.
Every time you walk into a stadium where Athletes Unlimited is playing, you look around the walls, all over, the branding, it's just second to none. The players treated like pros, like they should be treated. 1-0, McKinney fouls that away, strike one. How many times do you think she has been in this ballpark and reached her first 2 times to the plate? Feels like a lot, right?
Yeah, it has to be a lot. Maybe, would you put a number on it, 50? 75?
At least, right? Yeah, I think you got to go at least 75. 4 years here, yeah.
You're playing, what, 225 games, but not all of them are going to be home games, too,
Yeah.
so that kind of limits it. So I think 50 might be a might be a high number, but that's how much we think of Sydney McKinney. It might be possible for her.
Almost 500 for your career. Which is that outside. this is that matchup. These two almost certainly faced each other in college and American Athletic Conference play between UCF and Wichita State. Of course, UCF made the move to the Big 12 this year. 3-1.
I think the hard hit balls off of Sarah Willis have been on pitches more down the zone. I'd like to see her spin up that rise ball a little bit more. Saw Nadia Taylor go down and get one, just almost like what the lowdown is on her from Coach Wiggins or Captain Wiggins was to look down in the zone. So I want to see her use that rise ball maybe a little bit more to set up the stuff that's more down.
Full count. Kinney, does she stay back? She does, and she reaches for the third straight time to start the season. Another rookie up warming right now, Peyton Gottschall out of Tennessee, part of a tremendous pitching staff for Karen Weekly there, her and Carlin Pickens. Unbelievable duo in the SEC for the back-to-back SEC champion Volunteers. Outside corner, strike one to Kayla Kowalik.
The day that she's had at the plate back in that second inning, remember she was the one that got them on the board with the 2-strike, 2-out, 2 RBI double, and that was an 8-pitch at bat. She battled within that at bat, and then being able to hit for a little power, and then an infield single where she uses her short game. Kayla Kowalik is a special hitter with her speed and power.
The bottom of the order for Team Wiggins with Bubba Nichols licking her chops on deck. Kowalik stays with it. This is a tough spot. Koffel, long run. Did she catch it? She did. And it's a double play. Erin Koffel reaching over her shoulder. What a catch.
See, that's her old teammate at shortstop. Kayla Kowalik just pointed at Erin Koffel, giving her a little bit of love. They used to wear the same colors, blue and white, at Kentucky, and now it's her old teammate, Erin Koffel, robbing hits from her. But Kayla Kowalik can respect game, and that was an amazing catch by her old teammate, giving her some love.
Team Wiggins 9-2 over Team Leach, and they have collected all 40 possible inning win points so far, trying to put up a 0 here as Erin Koffel gets set to lead things off after that tremendous catch at shortstop, then doubling off Nadia Taylor. Here is Alicia Ocasio, the veteran and the second ever Athletes Unlimited softball champion back in 2021 in her fifth season after a tremendous career at Florida. Let's hear what she has to say about her arsenal.
Hi, I'm pitcher Alicia Ocasio, and my favorite pitch is my off-speed drop. I think it's just a dirty pitch that falls off the table, and I love to keep batters guessing.
Yeah, that off-speed drop ball is a pitch that Alicia Ocasio says she likes to throw about 60% of the time, but Alicia Ocasio can just put a hitter in fits because of the way that she continually changes speeds with that off-speed drop ball, with her off-speed curveball, and then with her ability to ramp it up with her fastball at 65 miles an hour. But that speed and spin is going to keep hitters off balance.
You've learned she is just ultra competitive. Talking to her the last couple years, ever since that 2021 season when she was the Athletes Unlimited champion. She finished last at AUX last season in Rosemont, bounced back and tied for 16th in the championship season as Koffel smokes that foul.
It looked like a backdoor curveball to me, and before the game I was talking to Alicia Ocasio, and she said that she's throwing that backdoor curveball again, so that would be a pitch that looks like it's coming at a right-hander's hip and then break back over the inside corner.
Not hit as hard. Long run here, and it was misjudged in right field by Kowalik, and Koffel takes second. The sun may be a factor there.
Sun, and just working to communicate with a new teammate and just learning each other of what you can get to, what's in the sun, where each other are playing. You see Kowalik called it really early. I think maybe lost it. I thought actually when it was live, Filler was a little bit closer to it from our angle, but then seeing that, it was all Kowalik.
Pulled a double, so it's good for 20 points from the rookie Erin Koffel. Now Sam Fisher looking for her first hit of this young AUX season. 2 with a strikeout and a ground out so far. Ooh, out. What, you're sitting in the stands. You better keep your head on the swivel.
Yeah, especially the area right by the first base dugout where there's just a couple of rows. Looks like some VIP seats and VIP access right next to the dugout that you gotta be careful right there. I'd bring my glove if I were them.
If I'm sitting there, I think I might.
Instead of a glove, I think they got the popcorn carton or whatever you call it. Where's popcorn going?
Bucket?
Bucket, yeah, I guess so.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
If it's big enough, I don't know if you call it a bucket, if it's more of a cup.
Yeah, it's a cup. Oh, I do see a glove next to the cup now, so that's big. We have a big popcorn bucket and also a glove out there for some protection, so that's good to see.
Huh.
And it's also blocking the sun, I think.
Heading that way again, that one a little higher and toward the parking lot. From Fisher and Ocasio, and I believe Ocasio maybe got called for a pitch clock violation a few pitches ago. I thought they added a ball. You have 15 seconds to throw the pitch, and that time that hits the base, and Wiz can't do anything with it. It was bang, bang between the glove and third base, and now it's first and third here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, this hit had so much spin coming off of the bat. It was an off-speed drop ball, well-executed pitch by Ocasio, who's made pitches to get outs in this inning with nothing to show for it. But there was so much spin. Wiz is playing back behind third base and just got kind of caught in between. Looks like it either caught the end of her glove or the lip of the base and ends up, yeah, hopping just over her and over her glove.
As of now, it appears they've ruled that error on Wiz at third base. First and third, Koffel at third, Fisher at first right now. Jocelyn Allo, one of the big time tickets for the folks here in Wichita, waiting to see what the NCAA's home run queen can do at Athletes Unlimited. Second professional season. She played last year in the WPF, hit 9 home runs. The first 2 seasons there. Third year pro, I should say. First year at Athletes Unlimited. Back-to-back USA Softball Player of the Year in 21 and 22. Part of the first 2 of Oklahoma's 4 straight national titles.
Pitch to hit right there. That 89 is not going to be the actual pitch velocity that just popped up on the bug. I think it's important to state that if it popped up.
Two-one, nobody out. Allo in front of that one. They're going to come home for this. The tag is there, and they get Koffel. Nice job over there at third base by Delaney Wiz. There's one out.
That was a huge out by Delaney Wiz. And again, Ocasio goes to that off-speed drop ball that she had talked about that she loves to throw to try to get Allo out in front. And I think there's going to be a challenge for the play at the plate. High throw. It did look like initially that Koffel would have had a chance to get underneath. I think maybe they're going to take a look at obstruction potentially. I think that they might have a case for obstruction here because of the fact that Taylor Edwards put herself in a really good position, but then the throw looked like as the throw was coming, she took her left foot and covered the leading edge of the home plate before she had possession of the ball. So to me, it does look like it could be obstruction, but I have been known, and I think I'm not the only one in this category, to get one of these calls wrong and think that it is obstruction or not obstruction, and that goes the opposite way because it's one of the most confusing things in our sport.
How about a quick decision?
Wow. See, that's
What do you
very
know?
confusing. Yeah. Once you think that you have it, Chucky, what happens is that there's a play or two that happens that kind of humbles you. You get kind of cocky with it, thinking that you have a full understanding of obstruction, and then that happens. The only thing that I can think, Chucky, is that they're saying that the throw, because you see where she's set up, that the throw took her into the leading edge. But to me, she's definitely blocking the leading edge of the plate before she had possession of the ball, but possibly the throw took her there.
That's it. I thought you had it. I also think that you almost, it kind of looked like Koffel knowing that Edwards was, she didn't want to slide through her leg, is what it partially looked like. And
Important out nonetheless, and you get Jocelyn Alo just to hit a weak ground ball to third base. I mean, that's a win in itself with how this inning has played out for Ocasio. Just some bad luck in this inning and some mishits that have produced a run, almost produced a run.
one thing I do love about that review is how quick it was. It's
Very
about
quick.
a 12-second review, maybe the fastest in history right there. Bailey Klingler now at the plate. First and second. There it is again. Goodness, that is a laser on top of the dugout. First base side. Evens the count at 2-2. Hit into left field, and that looks like it was trapped there, but they go to second, safe at second. What a hustle there by the pinch runner, Morgan DeBoer, diving head first into second base. She was pinch running for Alo, and that made a big difference.
Not a great read by Jadlyn Alchin. It was almost like a drop ball that was hit out to her. It looked like it was going to be higher, and then it just fell down. So Jadlyn Alchin took a step a little bit kind of in between, and that in between step caused the ball to fall down in front of her. But great base running by DeBoer to see that ball down and trust her eyes, and trust the umpire who made the call in front of her and quickly get to second base. Because if DeBoer went back to first or doesn't get as far as she got with that ball being in the air to see how the play played out, she would have been out at second base.
Yeah, Morgan DeBoer from Minnesota finished her last college season there, played at Loyola Marymount for 4 years. On second base for Riley West, and the bases are loaded. 10 inning win points on the line. Team Leach has not picked up any win points in this game so far. And you also have to think, when you start to cut into this 7-run lead, big pitch there from Ocasio. They get out number 2.
And she has just not had any luck with the defense back behind her, having to throw more pitches within this inning, but ends up getting the strikeout of Riley West. That drop ball just fell off the table. And it's so cool right now to see Sam Fisher at third base and Morgan DeBoer over at second base, both of them playing at LMU. And I know that Sam Fisher, veteran in this league, takes a lot of pride from being, having played at LMU and other people and her alumni. I mean, she thought it was really special that Morgan DeBoer got a chance to play in this league, and the fact that they get to play on the same team. And now they're running bases right next to each other.
Yeah, Sam Fisher's 52 jersey was retired at Loyola Marymount. Here's Jordan Roberts, fouls that back. Strike 2.
That's always the fun part about this league, Chucky, is that you get to play with players that maybe you are from the same school as, or maybe you played against them your whole career and now you get to continue to play against them, or maybe they're your old teammate and you get to now play against them, like Erin Koffel and Kayla Kowalik.
She's hit and diving off the glove of McKinney into center field. 2 runners come around to score. And that's the inning win points for Team Leach there as they cut into this lead to make it 9-4.
Roberts in this game has 2 two-strike hits now, doing such a good job with protecting with 2. Speaking of former teammates, her old teammate pitching against her, and Alicia Ocasio.
All kinds of connections.
At least Gator alum. I'm trying to remember the year crossover there, but great 2-strike hitting by Jordan Roberts to again stay in her legs. She's done such a good job with the off-speed pitches today. Impressed.
You're right. They were teammates.
They were? No, I'm second
Jordan was
guessing.
there 2017 to 2020, and Alicia was on the first national championship team in 2015.
There
Or
we
the
go.
second one, I'm sorry.
That's right, okay.
That was
there
her
we go.
freshman year.
It felt right.
I gotcha.
There's a lot of conflicting years. It all blends together, and they're Gator alums. That's what matters most, right? But also did play together.
To your point about all the connections in the league, you kind of start to think, okay,
Yes.
which Oklahoma players have played together? This is hit really well into left field off the base of the wall. Willis trying to stretch it to second and does. Sarah Willis, first career AB, an RBI double.
I think these rookies are really showing out in different ways, defensively and also up at the plate. Sarah Willis getting in on the offensive action, helping herself out in the circle. Go down and get this inside pitch, expecting something down, gets her barrel down and on time with that pitch over the head of Jalen Alchin, who's been tested in left field this inning. Team Leach trying to get right back into this game.
Something going on there in the dugout. I'm not sure what that is exactly, but Mackenzie Clark now at the plate. Check in with Savannah Collins.
Up to their name, as they've talked about that youthful energy that they have in all of their players on this team. It's played into this dugout as they trailed and tried to fight back into this game. The energy that these young players bring is different. It's palpable. They have their cheers from college that they still kept going. They have their handshakes that they do in the dugout. And I think it's been a big part of why they've been able to rally in this inning.
Of course Savannah knows.
Yeah, she knows it all.
We show it, and Savannah is somehow there ready to find out about it for us.
Each of these teams come up with their own team name outside of Team Leach or the Gold Team or what their color is. They start to form a culture, a little identity of what their team is going to be and compete together. And it just is a reminder of how important that culture is and identity, whether you're playing 3 games together or playing an entire season together. That team aspect never goes away.
It's a lot of team building exercises early in the weeks for captains with their new teams, trying to get to know each other. As they say, Clark did go around there, so full count with 2 outs, and this is a huge moment here for Alicia Ocasio trying to get out of this and still lead by 4. 3-2, down low, and the bases loaded again. Clark has reached twice tonight. She had the big catch in center field and turns it over to the top of the order and her team captain, Aubrey Leach. Ocasio should have been out of this. How many batters ago? First pitch to Leach, watches it down low for ball 1.
What you'll notice about Aubrey Leach and her at-bats is just how balanced she is in her takes whenever she is taking pitches. That's something that I would notice as a pitcher is somebody leaning, are they out over the plate? But look, another take, just super balanced, and it's hard to figure out, okay, what are you looking for? Other than just the idea of, like, hey, she took that pitch, that was more on the outside corner, but her swing and her balanced approach and her stance doesn't really give too much away. It's why she's such a good hitter.
Ground ball right side, Filler stays with it, and they strand the bases loaded there. An unlucky inning for Alicia Ocasio. They give up 3 and they give up the 10-inning win points, but Team Wiggins still on top. First points for Team Leach this week. They pick up 10-inning win points, played in 3 in the 5th, and well, this thing is not quite over yet. 9-5, Team Wiggins leading Team Leach here as we go to the 6th inning. Still one more game to come tonight. Team Leach has a double-header. If you're new to Athletes Unlimited AUX Softball, there are 3 teams here made up of 14 players each. A little bit different versus the championship season where you have 60 total players versus the 42 that we have here. A much faster paced season is what AUX offers as well. We have never had a repeat champion in Athletes Unlimited softball. We have 2 former champions here, Odyssey Alexander and Alicia Ocasio. They will be looking to become the first ever repeat champions on the softball side. Bubba Nichols is off to a tremendous start. It's important too. I mean, you think about how quick this season is. You can move up and down really fast, but get off to a quick start, and that could mean you're in the top 10 the rest of the way.
Gives you a nice little cushion to start the season and some breathing room.
That's what Bubba Nichols is giving herself so far, has reached all 3 times at the plate. Single has been hit by a pitch and has the 3-run home run off Sarah Willis, who she now faces for the 2nd time. It's on the changeup. This is close to being playable. What a run. Left field, Riley West gave it a look.
I think it's always interesting, Chucky, to see which players like to look at the leaderboard and keep their eye on it, and which players don't want anything to do with it. They don't want to look at it. They just want to go into every game, maybe not even knowing where they're at on the leaderboard, and just play their game, and whatever happens, happens, but put forward the best energy and effort and hope that you win some innings and win the game, and just let the leaderboard play out on its own versus being locked into it every single game or inning.
There are 3 people every week that always know where they're at AUX, and that is the captains, because it's the top 3 on the leaderboard, and it's based on jersey color. So the gold team, of course, goes to first place. Orange team is the 2nd place on the leaderboard, and blue is 3rd place. And then you have to try and kind of, if it is something that is a little too, you don't want to obsess over it, you kind of got to compartmentalize that, because you know where you're at, especially the final week. That's where the pressure really ramps up. In the right field toward DeBoard. Under it for out number 1. Get closer to the action with your free Unlimited Club membership. Vote on game MVPs, compete in the AU Fantasy League for exclusive prizes and more. Sign up now at auprosoftball.com. Going on, it's a player-ran league, and the fans also can make their mark voting for those game MVPs. More points on the leaderboard as that misses down low from Sarah Willis. This is Megan Wiggins. 2 walks and a strikeout in her 3 trips to the plate. Or excuse me, it's actually pinch hitter at the plate right now, and Jalen Alchin, who replaced Wiggins in the field last inning.
Megan Wiggins, little strategy here, getting the rookie some time out in left field, getting her an at-bat here.
And Wiggins is over in the first base coach's box, cheering her on right now.
Washington trio right here in the field, from Jadlyn Alchin, who started her career at Washington. Sarah Willis also started her career at Washington, and Bailey Klingler at first base. Well, triangle.
That's kind of what we do throughout the season, too. It's like there's so many different connections. You kind of just looking out there occasionally, and you're like, hey, they played college ball together at some point. The transfer portal makes it even more difficult to connect the dots.
Then you get to play in different conferences, too, against new opponents with new teammates.
There it is. Former Husky to former Husky to former Husky as Klingler makes the out.
What is it? Kevin Bacon, 6 degrees of separation?
Yeah, that sounds
right.
right.
It's like AU 6 degrees of separation. Like, I think you know every single person in the softball world with the connections that we have here.
Taylor Edwards watches strike 1, catches the bottom part of the zone. Edwards, when she left Nebraska, held 17 records at the end of her career there. Had her jersey retired back in Lincoln this season, a special moment for her. Twin sister Tatum played there. They led them to the Women's College World Series. They went 0-2 in the most heartbreaking fashion possible. 2 incredibly dramatic games in Oklahoma City. And then her younger sister, Tristan, also played at Nebraska. She had a great career there, and she is playing pro in New Zealand.
That'd be fun.
Taylor's played some pro ball in Japan. It's a great pitch, completely froze Edwards.
I mean, the reaction from Taylor Edwards on that pitch, just watch her hands. Just, they went, and then they pulled back, and they almost went again. That is a changeup.
It's a hold of this one, a long run again, but nothing for Mackenzie Clark based on what we've seen from her. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Sarah Willis to retire the top of the order. Great stuff from the rookie pitcher out of UCF. Gives her team a chance to claw back even closer. Team Leach trailing by 4 runs. Welcome back to Athletes Unlimited AUX Softball. 9-5 Team Wiggins leading Team Leach, and great timing from our new audience on ESPN2 as we go into the game with Kayla Kowalik.
Give her half a chance at romance. I'm gonna dance her home. She give me half. Oh, get out of my head. That should have been easy.
She whistling at the plate right there? That's talk about comfort.
Yeah, whistle while you work, right?
It's impressive. One of the all-time greats at Kentucky, along with Aaron Koffel, who is at the plate right now, about to take a swing. And Koffel robbed Kowalik earlier of a base hit. First pitch from Alicia Ocasio's in there for strike 1 to Aaron Koffel. Well, Alicia just a little bit unlucky, honestly. This is the first time, or excuse me, this is the second time she'll face Koffel, who led off last inning, but she should have been out of that maybe 4 batters before she did.
Entered into this game after Taylor McQuillan got the start, had a quality start to start out this game. The lefty from Arizona, and gave way to Alicia Ocasio, who has created some mishits with her spin and off-speed pitches. You can see that pitch just spin right in there. She creates so much spin with her pitches, so much deception, a lot of mishits, but...
Awful toward Kowalik this time, and she records the out in right field. Somewhere Rachel Lawson is smiling about these two at the pro level here at Athletes Unlimited AUX Softball, and if you're new to Athletes Unlimited, just a little bit different here at the AUX season. It's shorter. It's 42 of the best players in the world broken up onto 3 teams. Those teams are drafted after every series, so you get a lot of new faces, a lot of new connections playing together. And how do you get the captains? You get it from the leaderboard. It ends up being the top 3 after every series who get to draft their teams. Would you like it? Like, would you want to draft your own team? Obviously you do, because you want to be at the top of the leaderboard, but like, what do you think about when you think about that position?
I think about how I can be a people pleaser, and that would be a tough spot for me, but I would like the control. Like, I like the control aspect of it too. So, yeah, I think at the end of the day, I'd like it. I'm a competitor. That would mean I'm doing well and at the top for a reason, and I'd want to be in control of who was on my team.
I think I'm with you. It would take one player being like, I'm not coming out of this game. Okay.
Yeah, okay, you got it.
Whatever you want. Fisher to the right side. Filler takes care of it. Long-time pros and long-time friends right there on that connection, and there's 2 outs. Well, how did we get to this point? 4-run lead, Taylor Edwards.
Yeah, it was a 6-run top of the second inning, and Taylor Edwards had a grand slam after Kayla Kowalik had a 2 RBI double, and that was the backbreaker for Team Leach. Team Wiggins scored early and have not looked back, have continued to score, had a 3-run inning as well in the top of the 4th.
21 new players, not played Athletes Unlimited, whether it's veterans who have never played in this professional league or rookies. This is Jocelyn Hollow, one of the best to ever do it, out of Oklahoma. 3rd-year pro, 1st year with Athletes Unlimited, still looking for her first hit in this league. 122 home runs in her college career for Patty Gasso at Oklahoma. We have the NCAA's top 2 all-time with Allo and Carly Spade from Miami, Ohio. Tough play. That one pops out of Wiz's glove as she comes across. More bad luck for Alicia Ocasio.
Could have been a 3-up, 3-down inning for Team Wiggins, and Alicia Ocasio has just not had good luck with the defense behind her. Balls falling, hitting bags. This one right here just hitting off the end of Delaney Wiz's glove. A long way for that ball off of the hot corner.
Did you feel like you could separate that as a pitcher? Like understanding, hey, I'm making good pitches, it's just not happening, or did you still feel just the result of that runner?
I thought it was still hard because I still didn't want anybody to get on against me, no matter how they got on, whether it was an error, a walk, or a hit. To me, I took it personally and didn't want anybody to get on.
Morgan DeBoard back out there again over at first base. She has played right field all game as Wiz trying to make up for it here and does so to retire Bailey Klingler over the 3rd out. To the 7th inning we go, 9-5. Team Wiggins winning. That's how you kick off the AUX season. Opening day here in Wichita. We have had the fireworks. We've seen plenty of fantastic defensive plays from some of these rookies that we're so excited to see. And here we go to the 7th inning. 20 inning win points on the line as they roll over from the 6th. Megan Wiggins leading her team for the very first time. Talking to Alicia Ocasio, you see that 2021 golden patch on her left arm, meaning she was one of the coveted champions of Athletes Unlimited. New pitcher into the game here for Team Leach, someone she is very familiar with. Aubrey Leach was a GA at Tennessee. Peyton Gottschall was at Tennessee the last 2 years, and excited to see what she can do at the pro level.
I love all these new faces, and you're just joining. There have been tons of new faces, whether it's rookies or newcomers, maybe their first year playing Athletes Unlimited after playing professionally last year.
Ground ball left side is out number 1. Gottschall gets the first out with the help of that Kentucky shortstop, Aaron Koffel.
In the batter's box, the first baseman from Florida.
Aaron Koffel looks like she's having fun tonight.
Yeah, she definitely does. Looks like she's just coming off of a season, too. Super prepared, quick, good reads off the bat.
Kelsey Stewart-Hunter, her first look at Gottschall here. Is just foul down the line. What do you see from Peyton Gottschall?
And she's going to rely on her rise ball and her curveball. A lot of spin that Peyton Gottschall has on her pitches. She'll mix in a screwball too, but gets the most swings and misses on her rise ball up and out of the zone. That's the pitch that she wants you to chase. We'll mix in a changeup, a little bit of pitch that she developed in her career at Tennessee once she got there. But really good spin with the curveball on both sides of the plate, gets a strikeout there. And you could just see that pitch sitting and spinning. If you think about what a clock looks like, that pitch will spin at 9 o'clock. So it's pitching it's spinning horizontally as that pitch comes in. Throws with good velocity too with that spin. Nice location.
Pitch swinging for Nadia Taylor. Fisher takes care of it. How about that for Peyton Gottschall's professional debut? 1, 2, 3 in short order to retire Wiz, Stewart, Hunter, and Taylor. Team Leach needs a big inning. Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball is fueled by Gatorade. Jessie Warren looking to lead her team in Game 2 of our doubleheader. Team Warren versus Team Leach coming up next right here on ESPN2. And that team is loaded with stars as well and a lot of youngsters. There's Carly Spade on the right, the second leading home run hitter in NCAA history. The rookies have already made their mark. Kaylee Harding, a talented rookie from Florida State. Excited to see her make her debut as well. Riley West leads things off. It's West, Roberts, and Alexander, 6, 7, 8 in the order for Team Leach. West right back to Ocasio, who fields her position well, and there's one out. Jordan Roberts' turn. The gate's really swinging it well. Has made serious contact with a few of hers. A 2-run double and a 2 RBI single. Provide 4 of the 5 runs for Team Leach. Roberts has had some kind of up and downs with her bat, but I think they really love her defensively, so if you choose her as a captain, I think your primary goal is to have a catcher who can really command things behind the plate, but you will see Jordan Roberts get as hot as anybody in this league offensively.
And MVP points are going to be tough to decide after the game.
Tough spot again out into right field, long run, and that time Kowalik does make the catch out in right. 2 outs.
So you're going to go with the grand slam from Taylor Edwards. That's her only hit, but it was a grand slam that broke things open in the top of the second. Kayla Kowalik also has had a big day with a couple of hits in the bottom of the order. 2 RBI, has scored 2 runs. And then, of course, Bubba Nichols, 2 for 3 today. She had that 3-run home run as well. It's going to be tough to choose. Taylor McQuillan with a quality start to get things going. A lot of options for Team Wiggins.
And another debut here, Julia Cottrell, the rookie from your alma mater, Texas A&M, and another Wichita, Kansas native. Julia Cottrell has some deep roots here in Wichita, Kansas, and it's exciting to see her make her pro debut. Jumps ahead 2-0. You've seen her a lot, having watched Texas A&M closely. What can she do at the pro level?
Yeah, she can have a lot of power. I mean, she can hit the ball a long way. She's a good receiver, too, back behind the plate. But when she squares it up, it can go far.
Goes down and gets it. 1 at bat and 1 hit for Julia Cottrell to start off her professional career.
Usually you're not going to swing at that pitch in a 2-0 count, because in a hitter's count, you're looking for something a little bit more up, maybe even a little bit firmer than what looked to be like an off-speed curveball offered by Ocasio. But this just goes to show you what kind of a hitter that Julia Cottrell is. Can be a bad ball hitter at times, can go down and get that pitch. Just seems like she can hit everything.
On her face at first base, and now Mackenzie Clark at the plate in that 9-hole. She's reached back-to-back times. This is her second look at Alicia Ocasio. 1-1 count. swings through that, and Ocasio and company are 1 strike away.
That pitch just had 13 inches of down vertical break. That off-speed drop ball by Ocasio.
There it is. Got her looking to finish things off. Alicia Ocasio closes the door. That was worth 70 win points for everyone on Team Wiggins.
I like the way that Alicia Ocasio finished this game. We saw Taylor McQuillan get the start, a quality start, and then Alicia Ocasio come in and pitch really well. I mean, she did give up those few runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, but had some bad luck. I like the way that she settled into this game, but you've got to feel really good pitching on this Team Wiggins team with the way that they swung the bat today. 9 hits, 9 runs, a couple of home runs, but that none bigger, I think, than that Taylor Edwards grand slam in the 2nd.
9-5 winners. Team Wiggins over Team Leach, and of course, big swing from Taylor Edwards, that grand slam, and here's the leaderboard. This does not now, it does include the win points. You saw those just click in, and it's Bubba Nichols, Taylor Edwards, Alicia Ocasio in the top 3 of our league leaderboard. Savannah Collins has one of those top 3, Taylor Edwards on the field.
Taylor, a grand slam is one way to start the season. First pitch, too, didn't take any time to warm up in the box. What allowed you to click on the first AB of the season?
I just got out of my head, and I was like, you know what, just see ball, hit ball, keep it simple.
When you're back there calling this game with McQuillan and Ocasio, what was working for them today that you were able to see that they were able to put together in the game you were able to call?
Yeah, for them to just build their confidence. It's the first game, we're all nervous, and we're back to being little kids again, so just getting them confident on the mound, getting their timing, getting stacked together, and just presenting the ball and just attack the hitters.
Your captain, Megan Wiggins, talked a lot about manufacturing runs. Everybody here's an all-star, but who can put them on the board? What was the key for this Orange squad?
Or just chipping away together and keeping it simple. Whether or not we were down or up, just getting 1 inning at a time, chipping away, passing the bat to the next player.
You're a vet, nothing new here for you. What's the biggest thing you're taking into this season that you're focusing on, you got your eyes set on too?
Having fun, being different, and just somehow bringing the best out of the pitchers that I can, 1 inning at a time.
Thank you, Taylor, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Game 1 in the books. It's the veterans striking first.
Yeah, this Team Wiggins looked really prepared for the pitchers that they face. That's what stands out to me. Their patience at the plate and looking for exactly what they wanted to hit, hitting mistakes hard.
Team Wiggins 1-0 here in Series 1 on opening day of Athletes Unlimited AUX Softball. A very impressive performance from that squad. It's Wichita, Kansas, our home over the next few weeks. Everyone excited for opening day, and the first game did not disappoint. But don't worry, folks, we have one more, a doubleheader. Team Warren taking on Team Leach, led by Aubrey Leach, and Jesse Warren is coming up shortly. For our entire crew, Savannah Collins, Amanda Scarborough, I'm Chucky Kemp. We will see you soon here in Wichita.